We all love man's best friend. There are 78 million dogs in the U.S., and 4 in 10 of us own at least one furry friend.
But it is possible nobody loves dogs more than Justin Silver, the host of a brand new reality show on CBS called Dogs in the City.
Beefy, you're awesome, all right? And I like him. He's a good dude. And I know you two have taken care of each other, and I think that's great. But listen, that's her job now. You get to relax. And you get to be the dog again. I think my brain is partly a human's brain, partly a dog's brain. So here's the deal, all right? I'm gonna cut a bottom line with you. You let her in. You let her be the mommy, and I'll deal with him, and I'll get him to create some healthy space with you. How does that sound? I can't tell if you're nodding or just panting, but I'm gonna go with it.
Justin Silver joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's good you're here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, indeed. Who do we have down there?
This is one of my rescues. This is Buster, the golden retriever chow mix, who just sits there and looks handsome. That's the extent of what he does.
Cooperating beautifully right now.
He's awesome.
You say you speak dog. What does that mean?
Dogs have a very complex language, the myriad of sounds that they make, their body language. So a lot of times when I'm training dogs, I'm really training people how to interpret their dog's body language. So a lot of times I view myself more as an interpreter than a dog trainer. So that's what I mean when I speak dog. I kind of just key in on what they're doing. I can understand what they're thinking in a way.
And your show is all about solving people's problems with their dogs.
Yeah.
Do you think that ultimately the problem is usually the dog or the owner?
I think that dogs are the barometer for the people that they live with, and a lot of times when we look at the dog's behavior, if we trace it back, it's always something that stems from the owner.
Tell me what you do on this show, because, by the way, you come from an unusual background. You did stand-up comedy. Yeah. And then you say dogs found you. So how did that happen, and then now what are you doing?
I started, I was doing personal training about 10 years. I was doing that for about 7 years, and that was a great way for me to understand just the way people tick. I realized that a lot of times in helping people get over their physical issues, you had to tackle the emotional part first. If someone was suffering from obesity, it wasn't so much about teaching them how to get on the treadmill, but kind of figuring out what was going on before that. So I was doing that during the day, and then at night I was doing stand-up comedy. I'd get home at 4 o'clock in the morning, feeling kind of empty. Nothing's on but those depressing animal commercials. So next thing I know, there's 2 rescue dogs and 2 rescue cats in my house, and it just started from there. And I think that all the stuff I learned in personal training and how to relate to people carried right over into working with people with dogs. So, and also the stand-up comedy is super helpful because, you know, people call me with problems, and so they're not in the best of mood when I come over. And if I could provide a little levity and make it lighthearted and make it fun, it makes the session go so much better and makes them see that training their dog isn't going to be an arduous task. It's actually going to be something that's really rewarding and fulfilling, and that's the whole point of getting dogs in the first place, right?
And you get that message across in your show, certainly. What's the #1 mistake you think people make with their pets, their dogs?
I think that they communicate the behaviors that they don't want.
So they reinforce the negative as opposed to...
Yeah, I think so. Like, for example, something so simple in New York is the doorbell. What happens is the doorbell rings, the dog starts barking like crazy, and then what does the owner do? Stop, stop, don't. So now the owner is doing exactly
shouting match.
Right, what they don't want the dog to do. So the doorbell just signifies mutual barking. So what I try to do is teach them to set their dogs up for success by showing what they want them to do, and then, you know, it goes easy peasy from there.
More complicated than you think, huh?
Well, it can be. Some of the New York owners can be, and that's another thing we tackle on the show. It's like, yeah.
You should be paid as a psychologist or a psychotherapist, I think, at times.
You should be talking to my agent, sir.
How many dogs do you have?
I don't know. That's a good question.
What does that mean?
Well, like, for instance, Buster, his mom's been a client of mine for about 7 years, so he spends half his time with me, half his time with her. I have Chiquita and Pacino, who are my main 2 pit bulls that live with me, but my clients' dogs are constantly on a rotation coming in and out, and if you ask them who their dog's daddy is, they're going to say, well, it's mine and Justin's dog.
Justin Silver.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
The show?
Dogs in the City.
Dogs in the City premieres
Wednesday,
May 30th, CBS, 8
Check it
p.m.
out.
Justin Silver, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.